What's going on, guys? So we're back for another movie review, and we are going to be talking about New Gods, Nezha Reborn. So again, I watched the very first Nezha on Netflix, and I came across this, and I was like, huh. I'm like, I wonder if this is connected. And in a way, it is because we have where um, they continue the story to a certain degree, but in another method. So you have the reincarnation of Nezha, who is pretty much a biker slash outlaw, and what happens is uh, Lee using he is the kind of like an outlaw, like he's trying to get money for water, take care of his family, and when things go bad, when this other character who has who's normally the rival of Nezha, he sees his bike, he wants it, he fights him for it. And again, this is like almost a 2 hour movie and it's animation. So I'm going to kind of brief over everything. He fights back. His sister, or his adoptive sister, gets hurt. And then his brother gets hurt. And then later on, his father gets hurt. And he slowly learns he's not a normal being. He starts realizing he is the reincarnation of Nezha, the myth legend god. He starts trying to learn, and he starts learning from this unknown character who's really crazy, really wacky. And in the beginning, I had a feeling I knew who it was, and it turned out to be right. And I was like, and then when they said, "Oh, you're this character," and it was like, okay, well maybe I was wrong, but then it later gets shown of I was right, which I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But again, the animation in here was really good. Again, it really does keep you entertained. It is, like I said, it's a little bit longer than what I was expecting. The animation, the music, the story really gets you into the mythology of Chinese history. And again, this came out in 2021. So it's a 3D movie, and I could see why it did very well. I mean, in my opinion, I think it did very well because between the graphics and the story, the music, the way they handled the characters, and Lisa, him really understanding his power, trying to understand it, trying to learn from it, trying to accept his past, regressions in his past lives, and then also making peace with Nezha as well because he knows Nezha is a very, I can't think of the right word, a very big problem, child, pretty much, because Nezha, as a child, he was always very um, ruthless. He wanted everything his way. He could not have it his way or no way. And I think that's the reason why I enjoyed this, because it really showed not only redemption, it showed good story, it made you feel things, it made you really care about these characters, and also the story of how Lee was able to take his past life and make it his own. And what was really cool, in my opinion, was we even got to see, Sun Wukong in here in a form. And that's what I said that I had a feeling was in this movie. Because we saw monkeys around this one character, and I'm like, I wonder if that's who I think it is. And then at the very end, it shows with the little, pin that he normally carries and how crazy and wacky he is. You got to see him in his like aura, showing off, that he is, Sun Wukong. But he is so tired of fighting that he just doesn't care anymore. He just kind of stays out of it. He lets Nezha handle it. He lets other gods handle it. He just wants to be kind of free from whatever obligations he has, and he's portraying as another character, which is the reason why I thought he was another character. But overall, I think this movie, if you're a fan of like Sun Wukong, Nezha, or anything within Chinese mythology, definitely give this movie a try. It is got a lot of drama. It's a very long story. I could see this maybe turn into a sequel. I could really see that. I could see this becoming a sequel at some point. But again, it's been a few years since this movie came out, and like I said, I enjoyed it. I think it was really cool to get more into the lore of Nezha if you're not very familiar with it, like I am. and that way you can find something else to enjoy. And I think there's more movies of like new gods and something else, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out at some given point. But overall, guys, what is your stance of this movie? Have you seen this movie? Have you heard this movie? What's your thoughts on it? Let me know about that in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the next one.